The person who never apologizes. You've met this person before. Maybe you're thinking of someone right now. They hurt you. They embarrassed you. They were clearly wrong. But the apology never came. Instead, they changed the subject, made excuses, or somehow turned it around on you. And you were left wondering, what is wrong with this person? The answer isn't simple. Because people who never apologize aren't all the same. But they all share something deep inside. Something psychology can explain. The psychology behind it. At the core of every non-apology is one thing: ego protection. To apologize means to admit, I was wrong. I caused pain. I am not perfect. For most people, that's uncomfortable, but manageable. For others, that admission feels like a complete collapse of identity. Psychologists call this ego fragility. The person's entire self-image depends on being right, on being strong, on being in control. A single apology can feel like losing everything. So instead of saying sorry, they protect themselves at your expense. The types who never apologize. Not every person who avoids apologies is the same. There are different types. The narcissist. They genuinely believe they are rarely wrong. Your feelings are an inconvenience to them. Apologizing would mean placing your needs above their ego. And that is something they cannot do. The deeply insecure person. This one surprises people. But insecurity and arrogance often look identical from the outside. They avoid apologies not because they feel superior, but because admitting fault feels unbearable. They were never taught that mistakes are survivable. The avoidant personality. They don't apologize because they disappear. They go quiet, change the subject, pretend nothing happened. Conflict feels so threatening to them that they would rather let the relationship suffer than face the discomfort. The prideful person. They were raised to believe apologies are weakness. In their mind, saying sorry means surrendering, and they refuse to lose. What it does to you when someone never apologizes. The damage is quiet but deep. You start to question yourself. Was I too sensitive? Did I overreact? Maybe it wasn't that bad. This is called self-gaslighting. Their refusal to acknowledge your pain slowly teaches you to dismiss it yourself. Over time, you may stop expressing your needs altogether because experience has taught you it won't matter anyway. This is how one person's inability to say sorry can slowly reshape another person's confidence. The science of apology. Research shows that a genuine apology does something powerful. It restores trust. It validates the other person's pain, and it allows both people to move forward. When an apology never comes, the brain stays in a state of unresolved conflict. The wound stays open. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. Unfinished emotional experiences stay active in the mind. They replay. They linger. They affect how we sleep, how we think, and how we feel. The person who wronged you may have moved on completely, while you are still carrying the weight of something they refuse to close. How to deal with them. So what do? First, stop waiting for the apology. For some people, it will never come. Waiting for it keeps you emotionally attached to someone who has already moved on. Your peace cannot depend on their words. Second, name what happened for yourself. You don't need their admission to know the truth. Write it down. Say it out loud. You were hurt. That is real. That matters, regardless of whether they ever acknowledge it. Third, adjust your expectations. If someone has shown you repeatedly that they don't apologize, believe them. Don't keep investing emotionally at the same level and expecting a different result. Fourth, protect your energy. You cannot change someone who sees no reason to change, but you can decide how much access they have to you. Distance is not weakness. It is wisdom. Final thoughts. The person who never apologizes is not necessarily a monster, but they are someone who has chosen their comfort over your healing. And that tells you something important, not just about who they are, but about what you deserve. Because you deserve people who can look at you and say, I was wrong. I'm sorry. You mattered. And if someone cannot give you that, perhaps the most powerful thing you can do is stop asking and start giving that validation to yourself.